Hello everybody and welcome back to another edition of TJ's Talk Show. And it is Monday, December 26th. First off, I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. Hope they had a great weekend filled with love, family, laughter, hopefully tears of joy. I had a great Christmas. Got to spend some time with my fiance's family. Spend some time with my family. Went up to Eastern Washington, visited some family. Went to Leavenworth. Kind of enjoyed, the snow and Christmas time. I just wanted to throw that out there real quick. That hopefully everyone got a great Christmas weekend in, and a lot of you guys are probably off of work today since it's considered the holiday. So hopefully you guys are making the best out of your time. And let's get into some sports talk. We'll go ahead and start real quickly with baseball. Not too much news lately. I remember Wednesday or Thursday I posed the question, should the Mariners go after Edwin Encarnacion? I said yes, and evidently I talk about it and something happens literally hours after I finish talking about it. For anyone who doesn't know, Edwin Encarnacion has signed with the Cleveland Indians for a 4-year, $80 million contract. I believe it's 3 for sure with the option for the 4th. And there's a $5 million buyout. So his contract's potentially 4 years, $85 million. And the term, if you can't beat them, join them expression really comes to play here, since the Indians beat the Blue Jays in the playoffs last season. So that's definitely something that resonates in the baseball world. This means the Indians will most likely forego Mike Napoli, the DH for the Indians last year. He's now a free agent. Well, he was a free agent, but now there's really no choice but to go find another team. I believe the Rangers were interested in him, as well as another few teams. But more than that, the Indians having a great Christmas with the signing of Edwin Encarnacion, I just want to quickly go into that the Oakland Athletics were one of the last teams in this process, and they made a really strong push. And that's really significant. And no, it's not significant they didn't sign him. That kind of was expected. But Billy Beane and the A's organization is just a team that, kind of do the same thing over and over again. Maybe try to sign a few big players or, a couple mid-tier players. Be out of contention the trade deadline, trade them away, get prospects, and repeat. It's been this way since the early 2000s when Billy Beane created the whole Moneyball process and getting on base and stuff like that. But the fact that Oakland was one of the final, we'll just say top 5 for sure, 5 teams in this Edwin Encarnacion sweepstakes is huge, because if you can sign a guy like Edwin Encarnacion, not only are you going to dramatically increase your offensive production, because now they're not going to want to pitch to Edwin, and then you have guys that are going to get more pitches to hit because they don't want to pitch to Edwin Encarnacion. So then that almost feeds perfectly into the Moneyball approach of just get on base. Edwin Encarnacion, hit a couple bombs here and there, get some base hit some doubles, get some RBIs. Everyone else do their part, get on base, and wait for the Edwin train to come on in. They obviously didn't get him to sign, but the fact that they're in contention of signing a big-name guy really has a positive things going forward, because now Oakland has the chance to do something, that could shock a lot of people. If they could have stolen an Edwin Encarnacion off the free agent market, that would have created the ultimate ripple effect around the rest of the league, because everyone else is going to be looking for that top-tier DH first baseman type player, and there's simply not any of those guys out there right now that match Edwin's productivity. So not only they sign him, give him a buttload of money, but then let's just say, and this is only because Billy Beane has a history of doing it, they're not in contention come July 31st, the trade deadline. Now you can trade an Edwin Encarnacion for you would assume almost Adam Eaton, Chris Sale type prospects in return, because that's just the productivity Edwin has. And, people need an Edwin in their lineup. All 32 teams need him in their lineup. So it could have worked. I would have been curious to see how that goes if he would have been there, but he isn't. He joins the AL Central American League champion Cleveland Indians on a 4-year, $80 million deal. And that's pretty much the big news in the baseball world. But I just wanted to slightly talk into that for a little bit and just kind of what could have happened if the A's signed him. So let's go over a little bit of NFL talk quickly. Tonight, the Cowboys and Lions are playing tonight on Monday Night Football. But, it was kind of a scary Christmas for a few players and a few teams. The Seattle Seahawks lost Ricardo Lockett, one of their number 2 receiver, to a broken leg. He made a spectacular catch at the half-yard line, got rolled over on fairly bad. You could see his ankle just kind of dangle once he tried to get up. You put him in an air cast and broken fibula. So, that's a big blow for, not a big name receiving core, but someone who can get the job done for Seattle. Russell Wilson really trusts Lockett in some pressure situations. And now you lose him. So now you really have to rely on, Doug Baldwin, Jimmy Graham, and then your running game. Thomas Rawls was out last week. Who knows what the extent of it is. They're still trying to make the playoffs, or at least a home game. So, it's big if Thomas Rawls can't play. And then a couple of up-and-coming stud quarterbacks also suffered the same fate of a broken leg. First off, we'll go with the former Oregon Duck, Marcus Mariota, the quarterback of the Tennessee Titans, breaks his leg yesterday, in a crushing loss. I don't believe they're not in contention to make the playoffs, but still, you don't want to see your franchise quarterback go through something like that. He's only been in the league 3 years, and for Mariota to go through that type of injury could be traumatic, because now, he'll have the rest of the season, he'll have next week, and the whole offseason to recover and, take his time, make sure he doesn't rush back, and hopefully be back to 100% mentally and physically by the start of next preseason, or at least June when OTAs start. So, want to wish him the best of luck in recovery, as Lockett. I wish him the best recovery as well. And then this next guy who got injured, some of you guys may already know, but those who don't, this next guy who got injured also have a broken fibula, so this was just a bad week for the legs. He's the leader of a team that is trying to make a deep playoff push, the first time they've made the playoffs in quite some time, 2002 to be exact. It's Derek Carr of the Oakland Raiders. And he went down in the third quarter on the only sack given up by the Raiders' offensive line last night. And he ended up, once again, breaking his leg. And what makes this the most devastating is, so he's going to have surgery tomorrow, and his return table is 6 to 8 weeks. Pretty standard. The Super Bowl, obviously, if they were to make it that far, is in 5. I hope he doesn't try to play if they make it there, but you got to know Derek Carr's an ultimate competitor. He's that bulldog. That's the leader of the team, the heartbeat of this team, and he's going to want to go out there and compete with this guy, his broken leg or not. He's going to want to be out there. I hope he's smart enough to, make the right decision and sit out that Super Bowl game and be ready to go next year, because there's no reason to go out and blow your knee up again or your leg up prematurely. If you're not 100% healed, don't push it. Obviously, yes, we all want to be that quarterback in the World Series or in the Super Bowl, and I'm sure he's thought about it growing up his entire life and being that guy. But you got to be smart here. You can't. He's been in the league 3 years. If he was 16-year pro, let's just throw out if he was in Tom Brady's shoes or a Peyton Manning's shoes, I would definitely try to be back prematurely and you know what? This is probably my last season. I'm old. I'm, getting up there in the age and the experience. My body's taking a toll. I'm going to rush myself back, try to win a Super Bowl, and then retire on top. But Derek Carr's only 24, 25 years old. No need to push it. I hope, obviously, for the Raiders' ultimate success and getting to the Super Bowl and winning. But for Derek Carr, I hope he has a quick recovery, but also a smart recovery, and he doesn't try to do anything that can hurt the team short-term and long-term or himself. So, best of luck to Lockett, Mariota, and Carr, as they all had broken fibulas this last week. And quick recoveries, and, I don't wish anybody that kind of pain that those three guys went through. But quick, that's part of football, so they all knew the consequences when they all signed up, but unfortunately it happened in Week 16, especially for Lockett and Carr, both teams in the playoffs. Now they're going to miss the rest of the playoffs, Super Bowl and everything. Quick recovery to those guys. And now let's transition a little bit to the NBA. Not so much about what happened last night, besides the Lakers beating the Clippers for the first time in like 3 years. I believe I saw 2013 was the last time they beat the Clippers. The Lakers did, which is huge. Good for LA. The Lakers finally beat the crosstown rivals. Also, the Spurs took care of business, and a few, I believe, I know the Cavaliers took care of business against the Warriors and beat them in the rematch of the finals last season. But let's talk a little bit more about the home team here in Portland, the Portland Trailblazers, who are going through a really, really tough stretch, and it's only getting worse. They go against the Toronto Raptors tonight in Portland. They're 4.5 point underdogs against the Raptors. And not only is that, okay, whatever, Portland's not playing well. I can understand that they're underdogs by 4.5 points. But I wouldn't be surprised. If I'm a bet man, I'm going with the Raptors beating the spread. They're going to win by more than 4.5 because the injury report came out and Damian Lillard, the star player, is doubtful for tonight. Without that doubtful, or without your superstar there's really nothing Portland's going to do. CJ McCollum's going to have to step up. Al-Farouq Aminu, who is listed as probable, as is Evan Turner. Both probable, but, those guys just don't bring the same intensity and leadership and just star power that Damian Lillard does, especially trying to go against a guy like Kyle Lowry or DeMar DeRozan or Portland native Terrence Ross. Miles Plumlee is going to have a hell of a night going against Valanciunas and Patrick Patterson, and Myers Leonard will most likely get the start at the 4. He's going to just get trampled. The 4 and the 5 for Toronto is just way too big for Myers Leonard, and he's too soft. And they've lost 9 out of the last 10. So that is a huge way to, that's not looking good for Portland. And then they have to play San Antonio again. And, later on in their last game of the year, they play the Kings on the 28th, the Spurs on the 30th, and the Raptors tonight. But, the last time the Trailblazers won was against the Oklahoma City Thunder, where they won 95-114, and that was back on December 13th. So it's almost been 3 weeks already since their last win. They lost to the Nuggets, the Warriors, the Kings, the Mavericks, the Spurs, and let's see who else. The Clippers, the Pacers, the Grizzlies, the Bucks, and who knows what happened even before then. They might have, they won December 5th, so they've lost 9 out of the last 10. So things are not looking good for Portland, but they go again tonight, 4.5 point favorites, or underdogs, against the Raptors. So that is all the time I have for you guys today. I will be talking again tomorrow. Hope to catch you guys there. I'm TJ Pereira. Thank you for listening.